I happen to be a transgender male. Well, that never happens. But yes, I happen to be a transgender male, which means I suffer from this very unique and strange condition called looking 14, also known as little boy syndrome. And being this, it's very difficult, it's very frustrating because, when you go to a club for the first time and you're meeting comedians, you want them to be like, oh my God, how's your career going? Not like, how did you get in here? So I actually had to come out 3 times, which was 3 more times than I would have liked to do. But the first time I came out as a lesbian. I told my parents, and they were very supportive. They weren't particularly surprised because I was very butch growing up. Turns out it wasn't because I liked girls, but because I didn't want to be one. The second time I came out as a transgender gay man, and this surprised them. 1, because they didn't know what trans was. And 2, because it's about as opposite as a lesbian as you can get. Really took a U-turn on that coming out. But the third time, I would have to say, is probably the most intimidating because I had to come out as a comedian, which was very scary. And that was the one they were disappointed in, so yes. Thank you. Yes. My dad's here tonight, so you can beat him up after the show. Yeah. Yes. So I think a good takeaway from that was, though, that my parents would rather me be part of a marginalized community than have no income, which was good to know. But I will say, growing up, I did have to deal with a lot of bigoted people, hateful people. But personally, I think that homophobia has been getting kind of lazy recently. They don't put as much action in as they used to. And, for example, people I've had in the past, people I'm walking across the street and they point at me and they just yell, trans! And I'm kind of like, yeah. You cracked the code, buddy. No one would know unless you told us, so. And it's sort of like the equivalent of like bullying someone and going, hey, brunette. Got him. It's less an insult and more just a general comment about how I am. Yes, and I was also thinking about, how I turned out trans. I was thinking about my childhood and if there's any signs there. And I think one of them was my parents actually had to quite a bit, to do about my transition because I was always very close with my parents. And my dad and me specifically, we used to love to sing this song together called You Are My Sunshine. It was our favorite song. And I have ADHD, so I sort of have selective hearing. So I just kept hearing You Are My Sun. And I ran with it. Yes. Anyways, I would like to leave you on this high note before I go. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, Toronto.